Hello, it is your girl Timmesha Shockley here, and welcome back to my channel where I strive to teach, aspire, and shift. I'm so excited that you have decided to join me for today's video. So come on in, get you a notepad and a pencil because today I'm sharing with you 4 things that you can do, 4 things that you should keep in mind as you continue to parent throughout this pandemic. And as you guys know, since March, things have shifted, things have changed. You know, your children are beginning to usher back into distance learning and going back to school. So, and it looks a lot different than it did last year. You know, it looks a lot different than what we are all used to. Some of you may still be working from home and you still may be having to face some very challenging times, some very challenging decisions that you as a family has to make. So I wanted to provide you with these 4 tips that you can do in order to maintain your peace, your sanity, you know, throughout this time. And this is from an article that I read. It was very helpful. I will leave a link to it down below, but it was very encouraging and empowering, and it really gave a lot of different tools that can be used in order to help us maintain our peace throughout this time. So the first thing that was suggested in the first tip in maintaining your peace is to show compassion. I know at some points in times we get frustrated and it can be just so easy to want to take that frustration out on people, your children, whoever, but it's so important that we remember that in this time there is not one person who has not been impacted by this pandemic, by the coronavirus, you know, whether it's people who are still going to work, you know, we still have our doctors and our nurses, we still have teachers who have still been going to work. We still have, you know, people who work at gas stations and food service who have still been going to work throughout this entire pandemic. So yes, they are working. I'm sure they're grateful to have a job, but I'm sure by this point they're feeling a little burnt out, you know, they're feeling tired, they're feeling the weight of all that has been going on during this time. And then I think about you, the parents who have been trying to balance working from home, you know, and making sure that you are being consistent and, you know, you're being productive and you're giving your all to your job while you are also trying to balance being a mom, being a dad, and you are trying to balance, you know, making sure that you are giving your children what they need. So that balancing act. And then I think about our children. Our kids who since March have been pulled out of school. They haven't seen their friends. They aren't getting that socialization. They lost the school year to, you know, really have that closure with their teacher. You know, we have some kids who have graduated and they're either entering elementary school for the first time, they're entering middle school for the first time, they're entering high school, or maybe this is their last year. They're in 5th grade, they're in 8th grade, they're a senior. And if you look at all of these different transitions, we see that everyone has taken a loss. You know, everyone has had to shift and get uncomfortable and has had trying times during these last couple of months. So it's so important that you not only get stuck on yourself, but you ensure that you are just taking the moment to feel and sympathize and just show compassion to your children, to the people that you are talking to, and know that you are not the only person who has lost a loved one. You're not the only person who is going through a difficult time. The second tip that you can do to help maintain your peace throughout this pandemic is self care. Guys, this is so important, and I say it in all the videos that I create pertaining to self-care, is if you are not taking care of yourself, that means that you are not going to be able to pour out and give to others as you can, or as effective as you can. And you know, self-care goes beyond taking a long hot bubble bath. It goes beyond sipping your coffee while it's still hot, but it's also about taking care of your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual self, you know, your emotional self. So it is very important that you are still taking care of you. And this is a great time for you to teach your kids, how do they care for themselves? What are some things that they can do to care for their own selves by themselves? The third thing that you can do to remain and maintain your peace throughout this pandemic is you can set limits. And I think this is so important because I'm sure throughout this time, you know, there's come a time when you're just like, whatever, just do whatever you want. I don't care, get out my face. I'm over it, right? And I'm sure we have all been there. But it's so important that you are still setting those limits, setting those boundaries, and still showing your children, allowing them to know what is okay and what is not okay. So it's very important that you are still setting and maintaining some sort of limits within your home, because this will not only help you maintain your peace, but this will also help your kids as well. And the fourth thing that you can do to maintain your peace throughout this pandemic is allow for the expression of emotions. I know that so many times we can feel like we have to be strong, we have to act like we're unbothered, we're unfazed. But like I said before, we have all been impacted by this pandemic. So it's so important that you are not just allowing your kids to express their emotions, how they're feeling, but you as the adult, you are expressing your emotions. You are expressing how you are feeling. And you know, if your kids are old enough, have an honest conversation with them. You know, hey, I know that, you know, you have been struggling since you've been out of school and it's been really difficult. And you know, mom and dad, we're struggling too, because we're trying to ensure that you are getting all that you need. And we also have work, you know, and we have to make sure that we are doing what we need to do. So it's just so important that as a parent that you are truly sticking to these things, that you're implementing them, and that throughout this whole pandemic, you're not forgetting about yourself, you're not forgetting about your kids. And I think that by showing that compassion, taking care of yourself, setting those limits, and allowing healthy expression of emotions, your kids, your family unit will grow closer together, and it will really just be something that's going to bond you guys together, because it's I need you, you need me. And so I really hope that these 4 tips have helped, but just remember to truly take time for you, and remember to just do what you need to do. Find something that helps bring you peace, something that helps bring you laughter and replenishes that joy for you. So find something that is just for you and that can do that for you, and do it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please be sure that you are subscribed to my channel, that you are giving this video a thumbs up, and you are commenting down below. What have you been doing to maintain your peace as you parent, or as you just push through this pandemic? What have you been doing? So I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video, and I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.